Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Open Shutter, and have the pleasure of welcoming Michael Lekas. Is that how you say your surname? Lekas?
Lekas. Yeah, Lekas
Lekas?
is more Greek, background
Okay.
Greek. Yeah,
Right on. Well, thanks for jumping on this thing, man.
my pleasure. It's an honor, actually.
It's an honor.
Everyone says.
That's funny, man. I guess is this your first podcast in life?
Yes, it is. Actually, it is.
All
Yeah,
right. We were just saying offline, like these things are supposed to be fun, right? So,
yeah,
and
definitely.
that's the whole purpose of this thing. So anyway, for the people that don't know who we are, maybe like, what do you want people to like know about you? I guess.
Well, basically, in terms of photography or
Yeah. Well,
non-photography.
whatever you want to say, man. It's your
Okay,
show.
I'll give you the history of it all. Well, I started photography when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Uh, Photography clubs.
Right.
Back then, we had film,
Yeah.
black and white, and then
Right.
I did that for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then after high school, university, and then post grad, I sort of stopped photography, concentrating on school till I graduated with I went to dental school.
Right. Right.
And once after dental school was done, I started slowly getting back into it,
Okay.
into photography again. And I've never looked back afterwards.
Cool, man.
It's I enjoy it. I've always have, and my particular interests are basically fashion models, sports,
Yeah.
and to some extent landscape stuff.
Okay. So
And
what's like the thing that you love though? Like, what's the thing that kind of gets you all pumped up?
it's an expression of history. It's an expression. It's a moment that you can never get back again.
Right. 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 Right.
Uh, and that's what I enjoy. That expression, that moment in time is frozen, and and I love it.
Yeah. It's always good when you know that you got the moment too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More so with sports photography. When you
Yeah.
know you got
Yeah.
it, you got it.
Yeah,
It's
man.
you get one shot at it,
You
and
got one shot. You have no control over what's
you have
going
no
on.
control. Yeah.
Yeah.
With landscape,
Yeah.
you can mimic, you look at the lighting situation, as you know. I mean, you can always come back, whatever. There's always second, third, fourth shots. And also with the fashion model shoots, you can look at the back of the camera, or if you're
Yeah.
tethered, you say, okay, now let's change this. Whereas in sports, you get one shot. That's it.
Right. Right.
So that I enjoy a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a sport that you love to shoot?
Um, if you went into my Instagram,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna show it right now.
sure.
Yeah, because there's some really cool shots, man.
Yeah. Like I enjoy shooting old sports. I like I've them all. In particular, for some reason, I got more and more into the motorsports. Like I have
Okay.
media credentials, and I shoot at the most sport, the now
Mm,
known as the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, or Shannonville, the motorcycles, the
okay.
Bridgestone Super Series, and the IM
Wow.
cars and all that stuff. But I also like the other stuff, like gymnastics or track and field.
Right.
Um, it's they're all different, but also similar to some extent, right? So
Sure.
in
Sure.
general, I like all sports. I don't discriminate any of them. It's always a challenge. They're always different, so I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And so, in answer to your question, I like them all. If I had to pick one, however, having shot all of them, I will tell you this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you shoot motorsports?
No, I don't.
Okay. That is by far the
Yeah.
most demanding form of sport to photograph, I find, in my opinion,
Hmm.
because you're out there all day. You're moving from one turn to the other, different sections.
Yeah.
You're out in the open in the blaze, because it's mostly in the summer. You're in that heat,
Sure. Yeah.
and you're carrying along all this equipment, like a 400 2.8, two
Right.
camera bodies.
Right.
Whereas if I'm shooting hockey, usually one location, maybe two, just move around, or basketball, you're pretty much in the back.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. As crazy as that might sound, but motorsports by
Right.
far is physically demanding, I find,
Mm.
extremely. So that is and by the end of the day, I'm exhausted.
Are you in like a photo bay when you're shooting these motorsports? Like, are
Well,
you?
for in particular in Shannonville or the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, that cars usually that's from the IMSA in 2024. You are allocated to go to certain locations that only photographers that have the vest can
Yeah.
go to.
Right.
So, and basically, you are permitted to go certain locations to shoot the cars, best location, and all that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's the other thing too. And I give thanks to say landscape photography, because landscape photography really teaches you light, right?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know,
Sure.
what is the best? But so when I go into these events, I make sure, okay, where's the light coming? Where's the sun? Where's this? Where am I going to get the best uh, picture of the car coming or the motorcycle,
Yeah.
right? I don't
Yeah.
want to have the sun behind me, and there's so many different turns. So you sort of I now know mornings, these are the best corners to shoot. Afternoon, these are the better. The lighting's so much better.
Right. Interesting.
So
Yeah. Good
so
point on
it's,
that.
yeah, so that plays a role. Whereas if I'm shooting hockey or basketball, I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that.
There's no.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. It's motorsports was like when I first started it. A couple of guys helped me out, show me the ropes, shall we say.
Mhm.
Alex Billow by one, and
Yeah.
I learned a lot watching these guys do it, and
Mm.
I loved it. I still enjoy it. And this year the season's going to be coming up
Yeah.
for the Canadian NASCAR series, IMSA, like those, and the
Right.
motorcycles. I
Right.
like the motorcycles. If I had a
Sure.
choice, it's the motorcycles.
How come?
Those guys are crazy. They
Are
do
they? They go fast, eh?
incredibly fast, as the car
Yeah.
by far.
Yeah.
The way they take the turns, their knee on the pavement is just incredible. How they maintain their
Wow.
balance and that at that speed is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
So I love how I'm always in awe when I see them do. Even though I've seen it so many times, I'm always in awe how they do what they do,
Yeah.
the acrobatics they do on that bike at going
Yeah.
at that speed is incredible.
Totally. Like this guy right here.
Yeah, like him.
This guy's almost on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the picture and and I crop it, edit it, and all that. I go, it's unreal how these guys
Mm.
do it. It's incredible.
Like
Uh,
like how fast is like your shutter speed on that?
okay, that's another thing too. With these, right? I don't want to
Yeah.
go high shutter speed like one over
You
two, three, 4,000, because
right.
then the wheels won't be moving, static,
Mm.
right? It's like a parked
Mm.
car. It's not like
Mhm.
if I'm shooting a hockey game or basketball, I'm going to have a high shutter speed to freeze the action. With
Yeah.
motorsports, it's a different mindset. I purposely
Interesting.
want to show motion on the wheels.
Right.
That shot was probably a 1 over 640th or 1 over 500th.
That's it,
Shooting
eh?
at around an F4, yeah, because I want to capture the rider sharp with the bike. However, the wheels, if you look at it,
Mhm.
showing motion. It's there,
Mhm.
now I can easily have shot that 1 over 2,000, 1 over 4,000, but the
Mhm.
wheels would have been static. It's as if it's a parked
Yeah.
car, right?
Right,
So
right,
that's the
right.
trick you got to learn shooting
Ah.
bikes and racing cars.
How'd you learn that? Like someone told you? Not just by like
Exactly.
experience?
Experience. You gain that from
Experience.
experience, right? Because
Ah.
I see how these guys were doing it, and when I first
Mm.
started it, and I go, because at first I thought, okay, I'm going to shoot a 1 to 4,000, freeze it, but then when
Yeah.
you freeze
You
it,
would think. You would think
yeah,
that,
you would
right?
think.
Yeah, you would think
But
that.
but then when you look at the wheels, it's as if it's a parked car. How are you
Yeah.
showing motion?
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
and that's how you do it.
Man.
It's a learning curve, but once you get it, it's wonderful. And panning is another one too, right? With the
Yeah.
cars and bikes going super fast, you want to capture
Yeah, yeah.
the speed
Right.
of the guy going forward or
Mhm.
girl going forward on the bike or the car.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
Wow.
they're very. By the way, that is a wonderful track.
Where is it?
It's in Bowmanville.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be the old Motorsport, and then Canadian Tire bought it out, and they've revamped it, and
Yeah.
it's a premier racetrack.
Yeah.
They have a lot of like the biggest ones are, well, the Formula One is the biggest one in Canada, right? In
Sure. Sure.
Montreal. Then I would
Yeah.
probably say the Indy, the Toronto Indy.
Sure.
And the third one is probably the IMSA at that track in July.
Is that right?
Yeah, you get a lot of American press there,
Is that right?
videographers, photographers. They even film it on their own TV station. It's
Really? It's a
crazy.
thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, it really is. And of course,
Yeah.
the NASCAR series, the Canadian version,
Yeah.
is very, very big. But IMSA is by far the most popular on that track.
Wow, interesting. So do you just contact them, say, "Hey, I'm a photographer. I would love to shoot," and they just give you a badge, or?
No, the way it works is you apply
Okay.
and you send your application, and they immediately they ask you, well, who are you affiliated with? You
Right.
got to
Right.
have media credentials,
Yeah.
because they want to be published,
Sure.
notoriety, right? So
Right.
I have that. So I supply the information, the editor, the magazine, and stuff like that.
Right.
And usually I've been, there now for the last 3-4 years. That's when
Okay.
I started. This is going on my 4th or 5th year at motorsports.
Okay.
So that one, and also the one in Shannonville, that's
Oh,
more bikes. So yeah, you apply
okay.
for media credentials. If you get approved, then they will notify you, and usually by used to be in-person meetings, but now it's all done on the computer Zoom.
Yeah.
They go over safety protocol,
I see.
what you can do, where you cannot go on the tracks,
Right. Right.
and stuff like that. And so it's pretty detailed. They don't want any accidents. They want you to follow the rules,
Of course.
and all that.
Of
But
course.
yeah, if you get a chance, July, IMSA,
Yeah. Yeah. That's a thing. Really? Eh?
that place is packed. It's crazy.
Wow.
So it's a wonderful experience to see them in with the cars. It's all the Le Mans type, the cars like that, the souped up Corvettes, and BMWs, and you also have the Le Mans prototype cars as well,
Mm.
and also
You're,
different types of category of cars, racing and all that.
yeah.
So
You're a car guy.
I am.
You're
I
a
mean,
car guy. You like cars in general, though.
I like cars in general.
Yeah.
Like I said, if
Exactly.
I had to choose between the cars and the bikes to photograph, I think if you were to come, I think I mean, I don't know. I just find the bikes are more fascinating.
Yeah, no
To
doubt.
watch, you know.
I kind of agree with that, though.
I mean, that's my opinion. Some people would disagree with me and say, "No, I like the cars, so be it." I just like the bikes personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those were just recently gymnastic ones, and then at a tournament about 2 weeks ago, invitation. So they asked me, so I went there. So I'm in the process of editing the future Olympians there, my friend.
Who's it for? Like which?
It's called the Olympian. I got it right here. The Olympian Rhythmic Gymnastics Club.
Oh, okay, so
That is one of their top gymnasts.
Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I got the list. So she wants me, the club, like all their members that were in that invitation.
Yeah.
I'm now in the process of finding, editing them, and getting up to par, so she can then put them on her display.
Right.
And as for promotions, I said that's fine. And it was my first time I ever shot a gymnastic event, so I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. And all that. Again, these were shot at 1/1600 f2.8.
Yeah.
The lighting, indoor is not the greatest as being outside.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at her. She's flying in midair. It just blows my mind how they're able to do this.
Wild.
So it's sports I enjoy. But having said that,
Yeah.
when you do the fashion, the models, remember how we say the expression,
Mm-hmm.
how they correlate the models. versus the athletes get that expression in the face. Always look for that.
It's always in the eyes, eh?
It's always the eyes.
Always
You,
the eyes,
you
eh?
get the eye, boom. Everything else is
Yeah, man.
it doesn't mean anything,
Right.
and all that.
Right.
That image, as you see, will be published in an upcoming issue with her.
Of
Uh,
what? Of what? Of what? What outlet?
it's European magazine.
All right.
I got the email last week.
You did.
Yeah, so that be and all that. So now I gotta go back and edit that and put the magazine's name on it and all that. So,
Ah,
but the point I'm trying to make is the eye, right? So same
right.
thing with sports too, right? The
Yeah.
athlete, whether
Sure.
it's I don't know, a gymnast or a track and field hockey player, basketball player, whatever the case is, it's that expression, the eye, and
Yeah.
that's what I look for, and that's how they sort of correlate this stuff with the sports. I find,
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
Yeah. So how do you? Because like last week I was talking about models. So like, how do you like? Is there a trick to get like a certain look that you're trying to get with the model, in terms of work, in terms of working with him
Well,
or
I
her?
worked with her. This is the
Yeah.
second, third time I've worked with her.
Okay.
I mean, she knows how I sort of work, and
Right.
I mean, she's good. She's excellent. So
Sure.
you only have to tell her once, and she'll get it right on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you're gonna go through a series with that one. I shot about 600, 700, 800 images,
That's
and
it.
out of those, I go through it. Which ones are the good ones? I mean, you're gonna go through bad ones, right? Eyes
Yeah.
half open and
Sure.
stuff like
Sure.
that.
Sure.
But you'll probably come out with 20. I find like out of say 700, I'll easily come out with 100 to 150 that I really like a lot. And then
Yeah, it's
for
reasonable.
those, I screen those as well to get the ones I sort of like. And that's
Okay.
how it works.
Okay.
So, but for that, like her, like she's a pro.
She knows. She knows what she's doing.
She knows. She
It
knows.
helps out a lot when that happens.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
somebody, you got to tell them once. You show. Usually, I'll
Mhm.
take pictures. I do my no, if we're talking with this stuff, like I do about 3 or 4 different like setups,
Right. Okay.
and I draw diagrams of it. So when I go there, I show the model. Okay, this is
Yeah.
set up. We go over outfits,
Right.
what I want, and in this particular, my philosophy is show but don't show, meaning she's sort of topless,
Hmm.
that, but she's not showing anything, right?
No.
Um,
No. You
but
can't anywhere on Instagram. You can't show anything on
it's
Instagram
better,
anyway.
don't you think? Don't you find that is more?
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? More
Tasteful.
tasteful,
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
as opposed to some people like to would bear it, right? I don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Well,
do
it's more art though, too, right? It's more art
exactly.
versus just plain nudes. You know.
Exactly. I don't like doing news. I prefer
Yeah.
doing stuff like that because it's
Yeah.
more artful, and you can post it too, right? If
Of
it's nude,
course, you can
people like
post
to
it.
post it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I shy away from the nude stuff.
Yeah.
I rather do this or the lingerie boudoir or the
Boudoir stuff.
fashion
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, but
Interesting.
yeah, there are usually 3, 4 light setups. Different setups I have, ranging from 1 to 3 or 4 lights with
Okay.
reflectors,
Yeah.
and different, and obviously the different wardrobes. Whether
Yeah.
like I got her something like this in this type of outfit, then
Yeah.
I had her wear a gown, which
Okay.
was more noir, French,
Okay.
very dark.
Yeah.
And then we went. Now that one, that shot, what in particular was an indirect lighting. So what I had her, we had a big window with natural light hitting. So behind her is a V flat.
Uh,
So what I did, I'm sitting, my back is to the window, and this
yeah.
is indirect light. This is all natural light. I did not use any, just reflectors on the sides a little bit, and that's all natural light
Cool.
being reflected with a V flat and 2 reflectors on each side, and that's how that shot was done.
Simple, eh?
Very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Simple.
very simple.
Yeah. 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 You like simple, or you like making things like a big production sometimes?
Well, the
What do you
most
like
I'll
to?
use is 2 or 3 lights if I
Okay.
have to.
Yeah.
I can shoot with 1, you can shoot with 2 or 3. Like, like, I mean, I try to keep it as simple as possible. The more complicated you make it, the more
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah,
Simple
it
is
could
good.
be.
I like
Simple's good.
simple. Simple's good.
Simple's nice too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
So,
agree. I agree with that for
you know,
sure. It's a great shot, man. I love it.
thank you.
It's a
Thank
great shot.
you. Yeah. So, yeah,
Good, man.
she's wonderful, Ali.
Magazine cover. Magazine cover or just in a magazine?
In a magazine, I don't
In
know
a
if we make
magazine.
cover or not, but
Ah, okay.
it is in. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we make cover or not. So
Right.
all I know is I got they sent me the email you're in, but there's another one we make cover as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So that's more fashion orientated. So
Ah,
yeah, it's fun. It's different, right?
yeah.
It's a completely different than the sports stuff. So it's
Yeah, interesting,
yeah,
man.
it really is. It's
Yeah, I find there's a lot of in Toronto, there's like a lot of meetups for like
yes,
portrait stuff.
yeah, and that's how I got
Portraits.
started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
In
that's how I
meetups? In
got started.
meetups, yeah.
Meetups, yeah, I was going
Yeah.
to workshops to learn how this is done, right?
Ah,
And
there you go.
the guys and females that were doing this, yeah, there she is. If you go
Oh,
down, that one's gonna in another minute. I got her in the
this
gown.
one here?
This is a different one.
Here?
Yeah, that's from Maggie. That's the same one we saw. You just mentioned, but this one,
Black and white.
the very noir look, the black
Yeah,
and
I
white,
like it.
you know. So,
I like it a lot.
so different look, different light setup here,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
completely different. So it depends what, like I said, I always when I go in there, I have 4 or 5 different setups I'm going to do,
Mm-hmm.
diagram them, and then when I get there, and I like going a half hour earlier in the studio before they arrive.
Sure.
I can do one setup, look
Yeah.
around, see how everything works fine, set everything, and then they come, they change, blah blah blah, and away we go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And within 3 hours goes or 3.5 goes just like that.
Yeah, it goes quick, eh?
It goes very fast. You'll be
Is it just you and her, or are there other people around too?
usually there's other guys. There's another
Okay.
2 or 3 guys I shoot with,
Right, okay.
and we each take our turns. I do with the setups,
Yeah.
and we adjust. Like I'm a Canon shooter. My 2 other buddies are Nikon shooters and the Sony.
Right.
So we always tweak
You got all your bases covered. You're just missing Fuji
yeah, basically, yeah. So, but
and Hasselblad.
it has to, yeah, well, I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. Well, one day maybe, buddy. One day.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but that would be great to do.
Yeah. Cool. So you're still going to meetups now, like just to
No,
like
not
learn and meet people? You know,
No,
you just
I don't do once in a blue moon. I'll do them. Usually, what I like is I'll do like I look at music videos or I look at
right.
um, uh, like magazines or something that catches my eye,
Yeah.
and then I go, this is what I want, and
So
so but yeah. Or I even look at YouTube videos, right? Different light setups. If something catches my eye
right.
that these guys are doing, I go, that's interesting. I want to try this, and I'll tweak it
Right.
to my taste or something like that.
Right. Cool, man. I mean, there's always something to learn, like you're never really done.
That's true. You always are learning. There's no question about it.
Like you're never really done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Photoshop editing. There's always
Yeah.
there's the 3 or 4 people I follow. There's always something to learn, and then you always learn something on YouTube. There's always something to learn.
Yeah.
It's never
Yeah.
one way. It's multiple ways you can do it.
Sure.
So enjoy it. So
Never ends. The journey never ends.
never does. Never
When you're
does.
done, when you're done one project, you're on to the next one.
Correct.
Like there's always something on the computer to do.
Yeah.
It's like just but
The other thing too is when you do the models, they want their stuff immediately.
oh, I know. Yeah.
And then you gotta,
Immediately.
yeah,
With edits.
with that.
Yeah. Do you like editing?
I like it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoy it. I enjoy it. The thing I hated the most was going through like 800 images. Oh God, which is good. And then someone told me, why don't you get software like Photo Mechanics or Narrative Select?
Right.
Call
Right.
these through. And I go, you know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I just got the program, and they're right. It speeds up the
It's a
time.
game changer, man.
It's a huge game changer. I
Game
couldn't believe
changer.
it. I can go
I
now
know.
through this stuff so fast. Yeah, tag. I like. Boom, boom, boom. Whereas before, oh my God, I dreaded it. But yeah,
It's admin work. It's admin work. Like
it is. Yeah. So it
yeah,
was wonderful. So that is
yeah.
really made things a lot faster for me. And now it's so I can now go faster in the editing and all that.
Yeah,
And all that. So
interesting.
yeah, no problem. Yeah. So that's with that. And then like I said before, editing, I think landscape photography taught me how to use Photoshop and how to edit.
Mhm.
Because if you look at the top-notch landscape photographers out there on YouTube,
Yeah.
they, dodge and burning.
Sure.
How you manipulate color and
Mhm.
stuff like that, how they do it. And then I apply that, say, to the final editing portions of the model shoots, and to some little extent to the sports,
Yeah.
a little bit. So I think they're all in some way I find interrelated in some respect.
Sure.
Like I can't say to myself, I exclusively shoot sports or exclusively shoot models or exclusively shoot landscapes.
Yeah.
Some guys do. I like variety,
Right.
and I find that they're sort of intertwined. They sort of help each other out.
It's interesting that you say that. Yeah, because people always say niche down, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
especially when it's your business and you're trying to make money, like niche down and just be known for one thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good that you say that too, because I think you also want to shoot different things. You don't always want to shoot bikes every single day.
You get bored.
You do get bored a little
You
bit.
get bored, and I don't want to always shoot models. Also, I like the variety, and that's where the gear comes into play too, right? I mean, one lens can't do everything, so each lens has a particular use for what you are going to photograph. Is it inside? Is it outside?
Yeah.
What event are you going to be shooting? It's all related to the gear to get the job done, I find.
Yeah, gear matters when it matters.
Yeah,
You're
definitely.
not going to use a wide lens to shoot motorsports.
No. You need that 400 2.8.
Of course you do. Yeah, of course you do. It matters when it matters,
Yeah, there's no way about it. So, so
unless you're right there on the track, I guess. But
yeah,
that could be dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Don't worry about Mike; he'll be fine. He's just running down the track to get the shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There are doctors in ambulances.
Of course
on
there
site
are. Of course there are.
And you see that quite a few times. You see crashes going on.
Yeah, well, they're going to, no doubt, man. Like you watch F1, they crash too, right? And they're the best of the best, right? So
it happens. It happens. So,
you ever want to shoot F1? Have you shot F1?
No.
Do you want to do it?
Oh hell yeah, I would. I've done Indy.
Yeah.
But no, Formula One is hard.
Do you watch F1 in general?
Sometimes I do. Yeah, I watch it.
Okay.
But yeah, I love to shoot F1. That's a dream come true. Wish, but no, I can't say I have shot F1. The most I've done was an Indy.
Okay.
But IMSA's pretty good too.
Yeah. Well, after those two, then yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So
I had no idea, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but yeah, to get F1, though I do know a guy. He's based out of Australia, Craig Ming. Yeah. Look him up on Facebook. Phenomenal work on
Craig Ming.
Craig Mayne, Mayne. This guy, I've commuted a few times. His work is unreal when it comes to motorsports, especially bikes. He is the god of motorcycle. And anyways, we were communicating through Messenger, whatever. He actually got a proposition by McLaren F1.
Oh yeah,
for them. Yeah, his work is amazing. Yeah, like he is
really McLaren.
Yeah, I mean, but
this guy.
Let me see. Yeah, that's him. That guy. His work is something else. Like
he's right up there.
Oh man, this guy is good. He used that's a 400 2.8, and he's the one that told me you gotta have the 400 2.8. You gotta get it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal work. Phenomenal.
Whoa.
He's based in Australia, and
Interesting.
yeah, so I get a few pointers from him as well. And he told me, yeah, I got asked by McLaren F1 to
Right.
shoot for them, but he got into an accident, so I don't know how that.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Hope he's okay.
He's okay, but he's going through physiotherapy for it, and
Oh
right now,
no.
so it's kind of a bummer because now he's getting back into it. So hopefully things will work out for him.
Oh
But
no.
I learned a lot from him as well. Like I love his work. Just
Jeez.
amazing, just amazing stuff.
Yeah, that's wild stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, his. So
Damn.
when I get a thumbs up from him, I did good.
That's the one person that you want the thumbs up from.
From him? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
From
so
Craig.
he's like the guy. He's like the guy. He's like the GOAT, I guess, of
Right now, yeah. As far as
Yeah.
probably one of the best I've ever seen
Interesting.
shooting motorsports.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, no question. I mean, I'm sure there are other great ones, but I mean, I'm mentioning him because I spoke with him. I not spoke, but communicated with
Sure,
him, right?
sure.
And
Yeah.
he was very friendly. He shared some of his knowledge with me.
Cool.
And
It's always good when people are nice like that.
yeah, yeah. Super, super nice guy and phenomenal photographer
Yeah.
with his stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, so yeah, that's the motorsport stuff. So
Cool, man.
have you ever shot motorsports?
I've never shot motorsports. I never had the opportunity to do so, but maybe I got to go to this track.
You know what?
Is there a track in Toronto? Like it's like a
No,
small.
not in Toronto. It's Bowmanville.
Bowmanville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go to Bowmanville. Even if you don't have media credentials, you can still get really good shots of these guys. Where the general people stand, because you'll see people there with big zoom lenses,
Sure.
where different turns,
Yeah.
getting ready to shoot the cars. You get some pretty amazing shots from it. It's a very viewer friendly track. Much better than the Toronto Indy circuit. I hate that circuit. There's fences everywhere.
There's always a fence in your lens.
Yeah,
So.
very limited for to view and photograph.
Right.
Whereas the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, amazing views, just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, like I mean, just for people that want to get into like that kind of like niche, I mean, it's a good way to get practice, right?
Yeah.
Like my thing is like always just assume that you have the job. Then what? You got to go to the track. You got to set up. You got to know where to stand. You got to do all these things.
Exactly.
You got to know to shoot 1/640th instead of 1/4000. Like all these things that.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to get started and to get practice, right? Because people kind of wait for something to happen, but meanwhile, you have to actually just like take the initiative and just start practicing. You just get out there and like you meet people. They teach you things.
They do. You see that.
So,
yeah. No. Hey, if I'm heading there, I can easily text you. You want to come, and I'll show you.
Maybe, man. I might take you up on that, man.
If you're, I'll text you when the time comes.
I might take you up on that. You never.
Yeah. I love it and say, hey, this is cool. I love this stuff.
Yeah, just have some fun, right? Just try. Like my thing is like just try different things. Like we just just do different things and just meet different people because you never know who you're gonna meet that day. My thing is like you just don't know who you're talking to.
I think you'll enjoy it. I mean, I'll to you when the time comes.
Yeah.
I'll take you I'll do a car and a bike one, and you'll see the bike is now I know what you mean.
No, I think I kind of like the bike too. It just I don't know, it looks cooler a little bit.
It is. It really is.
But
it's better when you see it live. How these guys.
Right. Plus, like the noise, like the sound, right? Like the sound of it too.
Yeah. Sounds
the whole package.
Yeah. The sound, especially on the cars too, right?
Right.
The Corvettes or the NASCARs, they're very loud cars.
Yeah.
You got to have earplugs.
Definitely, right?
You got to have earplugs to do that. So, but yeah, it's a totally different experience. I can tell you that.
Well, it might be fun, man. You never know.
I think you'll like it. I mean, either you love it or you hate it. I've asked a few people to come. They were curious about it, and I
Yeah,
gave them a few pointers as we were there, right?
right.
And they loved it. They really enjoyed it. I like I'll show you where the best location is from a
Yeah.
non-media pass to take
Mm,
those shots, right? I mean, what turns are really good and all that, where to stay and
yeah, yeah,
position yourself to do it.
yeah.
So
All these things that people have to know, right, when they want to do this kind of thing.
they do, they do. Yeah,
So it's an experience thing too, right?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
cool,
No,
man.
it's fun. It really is. It really is fun. And
Yeah, you gotta be having fun, or else what's the point? You might be getting paid for it, but eventually you might start to hate it too, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, for me, it's still fun, and that's why I like it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I haven't reached the point where I don't want to do this anymore.
it's good.
It's fun. It really is a lot of fun.
Yeah, like you gotta like manage burnout, like avoid burnout, right?
That's right.
Because it's
That's
a real thing, and it kind of like just kind of like sneaks up on you one day. It's like, oh, I don't really want to do this,
yeah.
and
Well,
it's just
hopefully
built
that
up over
day will
time,
come,
right?
but so far so good. I have to admit, it's pretty good. I can't complain.
Yeah,
So
man, that's good.
it's
You just
good.
gotta keep going. You gotta keep rocking it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then you got the other stuff coming up in the summer too, right? Baseball, soccer.
You
Uh,
shooting that too?
yeah, yeah. I shoot that too. Usually
Damn.
I'll go a few games. I mean, a great way to shoot baseball is Ontario Baseball League.
Right. Yeah. True.
Great.
Eh. Oh,
Go
here's
and good caliber baseball, and you can shoot there, and all that. I
this dude.
sometimes go there. Yeah, yeah. That's in Barrie. That's with
Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball
yeah,
Club.
yeah. They
Whoa.
play their home field is Christie Pitts.
Oh, really?
They have games every Wednesday evening and Sunday afternoons. So
Oh,
if you're into baseball,
yeah.
by all means, it's there. It's
That's a
but I
cool
was there.
shot. Cool
That's
shot.
very yeah.
That's a great shot.
Thank you. Yeah. That,
Man, damn, that's nice.
so you can practice baseball again. That was like high shutter speed, right? Because you want to freeze it and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um. So baseball, soccer. You got the Ontario League One soccer, caliber soccer. So if you like, I'm in York Region, so I have access to Woodbridge Strikers and the Vaughan
Right.
teams and all that. So
Okay.
um, so I don't go to every game. I just like going to at least a couple of games, right?
Mm,
And all that. And so that's fun too.
yeah.
That I do out of personal interest and
Right.
enjoyment and all that. So, but yeah, so
It's good, man. Like I kind
variety,
of like. Yeah. I was speaking of variety. I like this shot too.
the gymnast, yeah.
That's
That was
cool with the shadow.
that shot that
I
you
like.
picked
That's
was a
cool.
beauty pageant.
Oh yeah.
And she was one of the contestants. And one of the, you know how they have them, they wear a particular outfit. And one of them was they perform an act of what they do. Some would sing, some would dance. And this particular lady was a gymnast.
No way.
So she went there and performed a little gymnastic routine. And it was at U of T downtown.
Yeah.
And it was sponsored by Biz Fashion Magazine. They're big
Yeah.
on the local Toronto scene, GTA, and the fashion scene.
Right.
And so I was there on their behalf, and I shot that for them and some other ones.
Yeah, man.
But this one, it was like, oh wow, and I love it. She was amazing, and so yeah, she was on stage performing, and she was incredible. So wow, sports, here we go.
Yeah. No kidding, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just love it with the shadow. It's super cool, man.
yeah. That was black and white.
It's
I knew,
very James Bond.
yeah, very, very,
Like
very.
even this one here.
Even this one there too,
That's cool.
black and white. Color,
Yeah.
yeah, black and white. When I made that into a black and white, I go, wow,
Because of the shadow?
Yeah, the shadow.
Yeah, right,
Exactly.
okay, yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Because of the shadow. So I said
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that they got published too. They were put in the magazine as well. In
Nice.
this fashion, yeah. So they like
Beautiful.
I said great. So
Cool, man.
I was happy with that, how that came
Awesome.
out and all that.
Awesome, man. Love it.
So yeah, so and if you go below,
Yeah.
this one, the bikini shots.
This one?
Yeah, that one. That is
Mm.
she is an amazing model to work with.
Yeah.
Incredible, incredible. I've had a lot of success with her in terms of publications, and super, super great to work with.
Cool.
Beautiful girl, gorgeous,
Yeah.
and very nice to work with. I really enjoyed working with her,
Cool.
and it was great time with her.
That's
So
good.
yeah, that shot was at the Bluffs. That was a few years ago when
Oh,
we did
yeah.
a photo shoot
Oh, yeah.
downtown.
It's like you're in the Caribbean.
You think? Yeah,
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 you never know.
yeah. So yeah, so it was fun. I mean, you saw my stuff. I fluctuate from this stuff to
That's what I mean. Like it's just it's good that you're kind of varied because I don't know, it just keeps things fresh for
yeah,
you
yeah. For
as the
me,
photographer.
yeah, yeah. It does, yeah.
And that's what, I mean, I do understand like the niche argument. I do understand that, but hey, if you're good in different things, you're good in different things. What can you say, right?
I love
Yeah.
all three types. I
Yeah.
don't differentiate any. I enjoy it. They're different.
Right.
And it's a different challenge, and I enjoy
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, that's me. I mean, like you said, some people are more pro. Like I when I go to for the motorsporting events, that's all they do.
Yeah, it's their life.
It's their life, right? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, that's great. But I like to do some other stuff on the side too. It's
Sure.
different stuff, right? Like I enjoy sports, but I also enjoy, like I said, the model shoots as well.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
And you get to meet them, and everybody's got a story to talk.
You can talk with them too. You can speak with them.
Oh yeah,
Different vibe. Yeah.
exactly,
Sure.
definitely, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, they're beautiful, but they're human beings like the rest of us, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, they're cool. I have no issue with them whatsoever.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but that one, Giselle.
Yeah. Shout out Giselle, I guess.
Oh, that was
Shout out Giselle.
amazing. She was amazing.
Yeah.
But so I do a lot of that stuff and all that. But not to take anything away from the landscape stuff to cityscapes. I like to travel, so I always have the camera with me. So I enjoy that as well.
You were in Istanbul or something, no?
Yeah, I did for Greece and Istanbul. That's Dubai there.
Dubai here.
So I don't do much wildlife though. I just don't have the
No.
No.
Eh?
I've done a few, but I more gravitate towards this stuff for some reason.
Interesting. Is there something that you want to get better at in like your skill set?
Well, I want to get better in everything, right? You always get better the more you shoot, right?
But is there one thing that you really need to you really want to get better at for you?
Probably maybe with better lighting setups, improve even more with lighting in the portraiture shoots. But that comes more with the more you do, right? The more you know how the light is going to react. Indoors is a lot easier because you have full control. Outdoors is the challenge.
Yeah.
Because the lighting changes, right? I mean, you got sunny and all of a sudden cloudy and sunny back and forth. You always keep on changing. That's always tough to do. So if I get better, I want to get better, getting faster, preparing for quicker to respond to the different light situations outdoors.
Not easy. Not easy.
It's not. It's hard.
It's not easy.
It is not hard. It's
especially
hard.
if you're one person show.
Yeah.
If you're one person show, it's
It's very hard. Like there
Yeah.
were some shots. It was a one show. It was myself, and
Yeah.
I was doing the lighting, and God, it's changing. So I got to readjust the light
Yeah.
settings, and then the camera settings to
Sure.
sometimes too.
Sure. Sure.
So but so I would say that.
Nice. Good one.
And sports. I mean, I guess I can always improve myself with sports. I mean, you got to, like someone said, you got to know the sport, understand the sport, so you can anticipate
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
the shot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so motorsports for me was different. I didn't know, and then even gymnastics. I didn't know anything about gymnastics until that lady was telling me, give me a brief explanation how it works, what we look for, what the judges look for, right? And the form, how they're jumping in midair or whatever, you know. So I go, oh, okay, so this is good to know.
How'd you get that gig? Did someone reach out to you, or did you reach out to them?
Someone reached out through a friend, and they introduced us, and
Okay.
so they asked me,
Thanks.
"Have you shot gymnastics?" I go, "No, but I've shot a lot of sports." So
How hard can it be?
so
I can do it.
I want to do this. I know I can do this.
All right.
So it was, it was basically all those shots with the 70-200 2.8. That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't use anything else. That was the lens throughout the day. Probably the most versatile, the most number one lens you can for sports and really is that 70-200.
Yeah. How much is that?
Are you talking third party or Canon or Sony or a thing?
We'll say direct Canon.
Mirrorless or DSLR?
Mirrorless.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah, let's see it. A little show and tell.
Yeah.
A little show and tell here.
And what's it going for?
What's in your camera bag, Mike?
Right now?
Yeah. You can do a little unboxing with your camera bag.
I got a lot. This by far, the 70-200, the mirrorless. I love this lens. Look how small it is.
It's nice.
Yeah, and then if you want, I mean, some people hate it, but I just, it's external. It's not an external zoom. I love it because I can pack it easily.
Yeah. Super,
super sharp. And this lens, by far, basketball, hockey.
Yeah, this is the one.
This is the lens. I mean, I also have the 24-70 2.8.
Yeah.
But by far, this lens, it's true what they say. If you're into sports, this is the lens to get. It's true. It is the one you're going to mostly use.
You got to get sponsored, man. You got to get sponsored somehow with Canon.
I should, right? I'm promoting.
You gotta, yeah. I'll make a little reel out of this. I'll tag you. And then maybe get sponsored.
Your gear here. I'm promoting your gear.
You just never. Hey, man. You never know who's watching when. You just never know sometimes because it's a wacky world sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Sony has their version, which is just as good, and so does Nikon, right? But I just happen to have all I shot is Canon all my life, and I'm happy with them, right?
Well,
so what does it cost? I mean, I don't know. It's not cheap. I mean, I don't know. You can go to Henry's or Vistec or whatever.
Probably around $3 to $4 grand, I would think.
I would say 25 to 3, somewhere in that ballpark is my guess. But unless it's on a sale or something like that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? When I was on the DSLR, I would buy the DSLR version, the EF as Canon called them. Mm-hmm. But they're primed. They're professional lenses, these, they keep their value. So I would sell them on Kijiji, and I would get like 70 to 80% of what I paid for.
Right.
Because these lenses keep their value.
Yeah.
And so even though I might pay, but really when I sold the other one, I pretty much got most of my money, and I only paid an extra 20% to get this and all that. So I might sound it's expensive, but if once you're in, you put them on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, this stuff holds its value. It doesn't go down very much because they know what they're getting for with it in good condition, of course.
Yeah.
But the gear definitely makes a difference. The lenses, like I said, I've got the 400 2.8.
Yeah.
That's purely motorsports, football, even baseball. With a couple, like usually for my setup for shooting sports is 2 camera bodies. One has this lens, and the other one has the 400 2.8 on a monopod.
Yeah. Okay.
So depending if I'm shooting football or baseball or whatever outdoor
Mhm.
sports, that's how it is. Indoors changes. Basketball, hockey, the
Yeah.
7200 and the 2470 2.8.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
And then for the model shoots, I'll use this. I have an 85 prime
Okay.
and the 2470. I'd say the 2470 2.8 is the one I mostly use, by
Okay.
far more frequent. And
Okay.
if I want to zoom, I just walk forward to get that 85 or 90 millimeters.
Right.
No,
Right.
that's a very great versatile lens.
Yeah. It
I'm
is
not.
good.
What's that?
It's good, eh? That lens is good.
It
Yeah.
is. It's a great lens. So I'm not so much into primes. I like zooms,
Okay.
but I only
Interesting.
have 2 primes: the 400 and the 85 1.4,
Okay.
which are great. So I use the adapters on those. Those are because I got all mirrorless bodies, right? I switched over, and all that, and
Yeah.
so I have to use an adapter to, as you know, connect it
Right.
the DSLR EF lens in Canon's case to the R body, the
Yeah.
mirrorless.
Yeah.
It works perfect. It's fantastic. I have no
Yeah.
issue.
It's good. Canon's great, man. Canon's great.
I have no complaints. I mean, the only knock, if I can say about Canon, is
Sure.
I don't like the fact that they don't allow third-party
Yeah.
lens makers like Sigmas and Tamrons,
Right. Right.
etc.,
Yeah.
to their mirrorless full body. They no, whereas Sony allows it, Nikon allows it.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I think is wrong what they're doing. That's my 2 cents.
Listen to Mike, Ken.
Yeah,
Listen to
I
this
wish
man.
they would, because a lot of people are not happy about that.
Yeah. Wonder
But
why that is. Like a licensing
I don't know.
arrangement.
Paul, you tell me. I don't
I
know
don't
why they
know.
don't do it. I mean, it's not
Wonder
like
why that is. More money for them too, no?
I would think so, because people then are going to be more willing to buy a Canon body. I mean, and then, but here's the thing: when I first started, I mean, I didn't buy these type of Canon lenses. I would buy Tamrons and Sigmas, and eventually, as I got more and more into it, okay, I'm going to get the main lens, you know,
Yeah.
of the first Canon's L series. I don't know what Sony calls them, G Master, that type of lens,
Yeah.
and all that. So it's not as if I'm going to leave, not buy them. Eventually, you will. So I don't know what the mentality is and not allow.
It's strange.
You know,
Strange.
it is strange because I mean, there's some lenses they don't have, and Sigma has, and I wish I can use them, but I can't. You know, I'm not going to leave Canon or not buy Canon lenses, but I don't know. I don't know why. I don't work for Canon, but that's something they really need to reevaluate, because it's just not me. There's a lot of people that are upset about that.
Of course.
So maybe you might send a message to
I will send it. I will cut this up into a reel and I'll tag you. I'll tag Canon.
Yeah.
We'll get this thing sorted out, man.
Open that mount to Sigma and Tamron.
Could you imagine 1 year later? Oh, all of a sudden they're offering Sigma and Tamron all because of the podcast.
Yeah.
It could happen, man. You never know. They set the ball rolling on that.
But no, overall, I'm happy. I will never switch. I'm so used to their like the cameras. They're so easy to use.
Sure.
There's no point in me.
Do you miss film though? But do you miss film?
No, I don't.
You don't,
miss film.
Interesting.
Because of Photoshop. Because now, back in the film days, right? And, you know, I mean, I used to edit my own black and whites.
Yeah.
And I would be stuck in there, you know, with the chemicals and all that. It was fun. But now that with Photoshop, why would I want to do that?
I don't know. People like film.
Some do, yeah.
Film is back though. But film is back, right?
Is,
like people are back into film.
Right. You're right. It is back, and I know a few people that are still. They love it. They use it. Right. I, for one, no. I like the digital. I find it much more easier to, put in the computer, put it through Photoshop, then I can see what I want, right?
Right.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. There are people that still want to use film, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not really one of them.
You're not there, yeah.
No.
Well,
I was, but no, I'm so
sure.
to the mirror, the digital right now. I won't go back.
Yeah. I've had people on the podcast that are into film, and they just say it's a different experience. Like, it's a
It is.
totally different
Yeah,
experience.
it is. It is. But I don't know. I mean, say you're shooting sports, okay?
Yeah.
For example,
Sure.
say motorsports. Let's take motorsports.
On film. Nice.
On film. Now,
Beautiful.
on average, I'm taking between 7 to 10,000 images.
Yeah. It's a lot of film rolls.
Film with you.
You'll be changing a lot of film rolls. Oh my God.
It's just not practical.
Yeah, it's not practical.
There's no way. You can't shoot sports with,
Imagine.
it's insane.
Imagine.
You might do it with landscape. Yeah, landscape, I can see it.
And portraits.
And portraits, yes. Yeah. And portraits too. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
But not sports. There's no way.
Impossible.
I mean, it was done, but why would you want to go there when it's so much easier with digital? So, but you're right. Some people do it. They love it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Film is back like a vengeance.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But I'm not one of them. I'm not.
That's fine. You gotta do you, right?
Yeah.
You gotta do you, right?
Yeah,
what do you want your work to be known for? Like, is there something you want your work to be known for?
Well, for one, if it's say the model shoots, I wanted that I was known for being classy, elegant, and I guess a throwback maybe to the Peter Lindbergh days. Remember when he was shooting the models? I always loved his work.
Yeah.
Something of that, it's related, or another one, Peter Coulson, based out of another great one in Australia. Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Phenomenal work.
Wild.
And he only shot black and white.
Yeah.
Only black and white.
Why wasn't it?
I think it's because he said that when he shot him in color, it kind of looked, the makeup, he didn't like it. It kind of looked fakeish. Whereas in black and white, it just gives a different persona. And if you notice, all his work is all in black and white.
Yeah.
And another good one, he passed away, is Peter Coulson, Coulson, based out of Australia.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Another one, phenomenal. And I had the pleasure to meet him last year in Toronto. He came here for a workshop. That's him right there.
Yeah.
Glasses. Phenomenal work. Yeah. So that's how they're my inspiration. So I try to aspire to be something like right?
Cool, man.
Just incredible amount of work. And you notice, you see, show but don't show. See Peter's work. Yeah. It's there, but you can't see it. It gives the illusion. Yeah. And that's the same principle I have as what Peter does it with his work.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Good. Yeah. He's really, really good. And he came to Toronto in September.
Okay.
For a weekend workshop. And I was there. I met him and he had live models. It's one of the few workshops I went to, and I learned quite a few things on lighting. That guy is a master when it comes to lighting. Really is. He just unreal. So
that's good, man.
Yeah, but look at his work, and then when you compare it to Peter Lindbergh's work, you can see a little similarities between them.
Yeah. Like, did Coulson learn from Lindbergh?
Good question. That I don't know.
Was he inspired by him or something?
Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. I wish I had asked him that. I never asked him that question when I met him. But that's a good question, and I think he would probably say yes to that.
Yeah,
So
because
but I don't know for certainty if he was inspired by him.
similar similar vibes,
Similar
right?
style. Yeah. And another guy, a
Yeah, who's
Canadian photographer who's also very good,
yeah.
Nathan Elson.
Nathan?
Nathan, based out of Calgary. If you look at his work, again, you'll see the similarity.
Oh yeah. Jeez. Was he inspired by Coulson?
See,
This
you
guy?
would think, yeah, look at the work.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You see that style? See, this is the style I love. I gravitate to this stuff. And again, he shoots predominantly black and white too.
Yeah,
They do color, but if you look at his portfolio, his work, it's predominantly black and white. Something about black and white. It just, it's,
well, there's a certain timelessness to it too.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe.
Like a certain classic vibe to it,
Yeah, and he's based out of Calgary.
Calgary.
So I follow him quite a lot. I love his work, and there's three big names here. I mean, Peter. We all know Peter, but if you look at Peter, the Peter Coulsons, Nathan's. I mean, Peter Lindbergh is there, but Coulson he's up there too, and then Nathan, he's really up and coming. He's a very good photographer.
Yeah.
But look at the style.
Similar,
Yeah, very similar. Not so much color, but more black and white.
Right. I do like the black and white portraits though too.
Yeah, you love them. You love it. Like if you had a choice between black and white.
Black and white, I think so. Especially for a female.
Yeah, I agree. Now they all want the color, but I'm telling you, no, the black and white is better.
Interesting.
So
that's your level. That's the bar. That's the bar for you. That's what you're trying to get to this year.
Yeah,
that's like your goal for this year.
Get to their level, then I can have a smile on my face.
But how do you know if you're at their level though?
Well,
how do you know that though?
You strive to be at that level. I don't think
like someone I guess has to tell you.
I guess, but
it's not like a metric that you can say, "Oh, I'm at that level now." There's no real metric. You know what I mean?
Peter's work. I mean, if you go on his site and you see the models he shot,
right?
It's just different level. And he was doing that workshop, how he sees light. It's wow, man. It's unreal, surreal. How he sees it, and I go, oh my God, man, how do you know this?
Yeah. Well, he also started at 0 too.
That's true. He did.
He started at 0 also.
He did. It's funny.
Some people have like a natural gift though too, right?
Yeah, and he does.
Naturally talented. Naturally talented at that.
Yeah,
able to process light, angles, all this stuff. Able to
and
do
Peter just knows. I guess through experience and everything, he just knows how light is going to affect the model, how it's going to.
Yeah, light is everything.
Yeah,
it's everything.
And for him, it is so easy and incredible. And he does his own editing. He's actually a Hasselblad shooter.
Of course he is.
Yeah, that's all he uses. I mean, he has Sony for full frame, but he's always predominantly shooting with Hasselblad. He loves Hasselblad. Well, and he uses Capture One. That's his editing software that he uses to edit his images. So
gotta start somewhere, man.
Same with Nathan, the other guy, the Canadian guy based out of Calgary. He uses Capture One predominantly.
Right.
I use Photoshop, so I'm okay with
whatever gets the job done. There's no real rule to it.
No.
No one's gonna ask you, hey, did you use Capture One or Photoshop on that? No one asks that question.
No one does.
Right.
But so those are the three. Yeah. And then for sports, for me, the ultimate is Peter Reed Miller, Sports Illustrated. If you look at him,
this guy,
Peter Reed Miller, Sports Illustrated.
Oh yeah. I see.
Okay, there's sports.
This dude.
That's the man. The man.
Oh, is he the one that shot Phelps with in the
Yes,
pool? Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that's him. Look at those
Iconic photo.
images. Look at those images. You see,
No,
like unreal,
interesting.
unreal. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
he
good.
is. You know what, Peter Miller is to the sports
Yeah,
in the sports world.
right. Well, that's the bar, I guess, eh?
That is the bar, Paul.
That
That is
is
the
the bar, eh? Well, you never know. It could happen, man.
bar. Yeah.
It could happen. You'll be shooting for Sports Illustrated next year. Who knows?
Yeah, wow.
Or
Yeah.
F1 or
We're
whatever
still dreaming. Yeah, I'd love
whatever
to.
the case is, you know.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'll settle for a Super Bowl, okay?
Well, it's 1 in 2 weeks. Maybe you go down to New Orleans and just say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm with."
I don't think so.
Imagine.
Whoa.
Well,
Imagine I'll text you. Guess where I am?
guess where I am at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, go on TV. I'll be wearing the Cubs shirt. See if you can
Or you
find
can go to a Cubs game. Say, "Hey, I'm
our Cubs game. Yeah.
right." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. Those are top. I mean, there are others, but these are the guys that come to my mind immediately.
Yeah, it's good to have people that to like get inspired by and to like,
Yeah.
look up to, and then
every time I look at their for me, when I look at their work, it's just a different level.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah, you can take their work and then put your own spin to it.
Yeah.
You know, you take their work and say, "Oh, this is my take on their work," and then
exactly. I mean, I don't try. I mean, I learn from them how they sort of did it, and then I sort of adapted to what I think works for me, right? And you sort of develop your own sort of style, right?
You need to.
And so they're my inspiration. These are the guys I look to,
right?
And okay, so let's start. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And so so
it's good, man.
Those are so that's what I strive to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have that to look up to, and like for the people watching, listening, like if you haven't started, just start practicing and just assume you have jobs and just go to like local rinks, local
that's how
local diamonds, local whatever, and just start practicing. And
I mean, you're not going to go down to Scotiabank and shoot it from
no, of course not. Yeah, but you can always like message like your local hockey team on Instagram, say, "Hey, can I shoot you guys on Saturday night?" They're gonna say, "Yeah, come on down."
They will. I go to OHL games and I ask, and fine, let's do it.
Yeah, they want the exposure.
Games, and I do it. They love the exposure. They love it.
Of course. I think we always have this like this thought that people are just gonna say no because we're not at a certain level, but usually people will say yes. Yeah, come on down.
You're absolutely right.
People will say yes. Okay,
that's right. They will say yes.
You know, so that's my take on it, especially when it comes to like sports. Like, you got to start somewhere. You need a portfolio to show people.
Exactly.
So how do you get a portfolio? You need to go to sports events.
And that's how. And the other thing is by shooting like minor sports or semi-pro sports.
Yeah,
you have access. You can go wherever you want. They don't bother you. And whereas if you go say to a Blue Jay game or a Maple Leaf, you're restricted. You can't go here. You can't go there.
Right.
You know, so it's a completely different environment.
Yeah.
And all that.
Of course.
Even the motorsports, the Canadian Tire one with the MSUS versus Shannonville up there. Shannonville is more lower key, but you have more freedom to do whatever you want. Even though the other one is there, but they're more, shall we say, stricter.
Yeah.
And all that, and where they'll let you go and where not to go. Yeah. But that's how I go. In Formula One, God, they're very restricted, and you can't go here, can't go there. Not that I know, I've never shot one, but I would imagine that's how it's like.
Sure. Oh.
But good, man. Minor sports, definitely, if you're into that.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's just the way to get in the door, at least.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
It takes a little bit of initiative, and you just got to put yourself out there too.
Yeah.
Which I think is a big part in terms of like getting clients and attracting business or kind of getting known in certain areas. Like you need to be out there and like
you sell yourself.
You need to sell yourself a little bit. You need to, especially when you said yes to like the gymnastics, when you never shot gymnastics, but you can I'll figure it out.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Just figure it out. I'll do it.
Shooting a basketball game or a hockey game, gymnastics, right?
Yeah,
You know, they use
just say
more.
yes and just figure it out later.
Yeah, they use the same settings. You're going to use the same glass, same
Right.
lenses.
Right.
It's no different.
Right.
You know, instead of carrying a basketball or a hockey stick, they're carrying their, you know, they're jumping and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the same setup. The only
Yeah.
thing you worry is the lighting, right? How you have to adjust things.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you just gotta say yes to stuff and just
oh,
see
I
what happens.
yeah,
You
yeah.
always say yes to things?
Pretty much. If it's an opportunity, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
do it. I'm not going to shy
Alright.
away from a different challenge here, right? I want to
Okay.
do it. If I get
Alright.
it, fantastic. You
Alright.
know, but like and like you do your homework.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much out there to learn from. YouTube, for example. If you never shot any hockey game, for example, tons of videos on YouTube, the beginners, how to do this. You get an idea what you're getting yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
And then the equipment, right?
Mhm.
70 to 200.
That's
That's
the
it.
lens.
Doesn't have to be Canon. Can be a Sigma. Can be a Tamron. They'll do the job, right?
Yeah.
So once you're like you're basically there now. It's just practicing.
Yeah, just practice, just getting
Yeah,
the reps in.
exactly.
Knowing
And
how
then
to frame, knowing how to focus,
exactly.
right,
Yeah.
correctly. Yeah, no, that's true.
You'll get it. Everybody does. It's just you got to practice and shoot.
Yeah, you gotta work, man. You gotta work
You
at
know,
it. It takes
exactly.
work.
Like everything else in life, right?
It doesn't come easy.
No, there is a learning curve in everything, and this is
Yeah.
no different. There is a
Yeah.
learning curve, and
Mhm.
if you've got the patience, you'll get it. Like everything else, yeah, you
Sure.
someone
Well,
attempts in life.
patience is a virtue not very
It
common
is.
in today's world.
Yeah, it
So
is. I
that's a whole other ball game.
yeah, definitely.
Mike, we're up against the hour, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No problem.
So I want to say thanks again for coming on.
No problem, man. It was a pleasure. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Any final words for the watchers, listeners?
Go shoot.
Very simple.
Very simple.
Very
That's how you
simple.
learn. That's how you learn.
Love it.
Yeah.
People for the watching, listening, go check out Mike. Links are in the description of this podcast. And love to have you back on sometime, Mike, when you're shooting at fun.
I love to. And I will reach out to you for
Yeah, text me or message me and we'll talk,
I
man.
will.
It'll be fun.
Definitely.
All right.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
everyone. Peace.
Thank you. Take care.